Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new and you like to hear about opinions, reviews, and analyses on films, books, and TV shows, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more content from me. Today's video will be on The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the final book in the Inheritance Games trilogy. I've done a video each on the previous two books, The Inheritance Games and The Hawthorne Legacy, which are linked in the description below. So let's get on with my review, thoughts, and reactions to the final book in the trilogy. So let me begin with a spoiler-free review. After reading The Hawthorne Legacy, I didn't really think that there was a need for a third book. But boy, am I eating my words. This was truly an amazing and necessary conclusion to the story and the mysteries surrounding Avery Grams and the Hawthorne family. It's fast-paced and so much is happening, but in a way to tie up all the loose ends from the previous books. Obviously, you do need to read the previous two books in order to understand what happens in this one. In this trilogy, every time you think that the mystery is solved, there's always another one, and they're all so well connected with each other, as well as with the mysteries presented in the previous books. I applaud Jennifer Lynn Barnes for doing a mystery trilogy with so many layers and complexities. It's insane how good this novel is and this trilogy was as a whole. I really am going to keep this spoiler-free review short because I don't want to spoil, but I will say that I was very satisfied with the way the trilogy ended, and I would certainly recommend reading the entire trilogy. I promise that you won't regret it. So now that we're done with the spoiler-free review, I will be giving my thoughts and reactions to specific things in the novel. If you don't want to be spoiled, feel free to skip this part of the video. The first thing I want to say was that this book was insane. Like, so much happened and I was so completely immersed. It took me maybe less than 3 hours to finish the entire book. I was super sus about Eve initially, but she seemed really nice, so just like Avery, I let my guard down. So when Avery did realize that she betrayed them to Vincent Blake, I was like, this effing bitch. And yes, I swore because it was crazy. And the way she tried to turn Grayson against Avery, I was like, oh honey, you did not just try to do that. Like, I don't even blame Avery for welcoming her initially because she sees the parallel between them, like both outsiders to the Hawthorne family, girls who grew up with nothing. Sure, they're both ruthless, but at least Avery never betrayed her biological father to her grandfather. In previous videos, I had claimed that I was firmly on Team Grayson in the love triangle. And don't get me wrong, I still love Grayson and I was so thrilled that there was more of him in this book. But Jennifer really sold me on Jameson and Avery in the last novel. Like, they're cute, okay, in an insanely competitive, ride or die, making wagers kind of way. I love that we were also introduced to Xander's dad, Isaiah, and that at least one of the Hawthorne boys had a dad who actually wanted them and cared for them. It's just so touching, especially since Xander is my favorite Hawthorne. So as I've mentioned, the novel does tie up loose ends, specifically answering the question, why did Tobias Hawthorne disown his family and give Avery everything? I'm pretty sure everyone had a bunch of theories, but the real answer was insane. In a messed up kind of way. Like, Tobias did it so that his feud with Vincent Blake won't paint a target on his grandsons, but onto Avery, as well as to bring Jameson and Grayson back together on the same team after the Emily fiasco, and to bring Toby out of hiding. Which again, super messed up, yet also weirdly brilliant at the same time. But Avery was strong and brilliant and smart, which is why Tobias chose her. She knew to listen to Tobias's last advice, which was to make Vincent Blake underestimate her because she was a girl who had nothing. And the sheer brilliance of her pulling that move in the climax, like, I stan Avery Grams so much. Also, if there's something that this trilogy has enforced in my mind, it's that rich people are whack. I mean, yes, Tobias was ruthless as hell and they're in Texas, But when Nan mentioned the boys will be boys rule that Vincent Blake had, I was so ready to throw hands. So when Tobias killed William Blake for getting Mallory Loughlin pregnant when she was 16 and he was in his 20s, well, I can't even get mad. Like, yes, kill that predator. You go, dude. It is just whack that the predator was Toby's biological dad. At least Avery didn't end up becoming a whack rich person like Blake. I did love how they ended it so that she was giving away most of the money to charities and having the Hawthorns help her out with that, as well as hosting her own games the same way Tobias did with his grandsons. I thought it was really cool, because when you think about it, Avery didn't grow up having everything, and she internalized something that Sky had said to her early in the novel. Do you know what the real difference is between millions and billions? Because at a certain point, it's not about the money. It was about the power. And then when she makes the official announcement about giving away Tobias Hawthorne's fortune to charities, all that money, all that power, dispersed where no one person would ever control it again. She understands the power of yielding, and this is why I love Avery so much. Yeah, she changed over the course of the trilogy. She's become more confident, competitive and certain, brilliant and generous. Would you say she was a little paranoid with Eve? Sure, but rightfully so. The money didn't change her. She's a well-written female protagonist, and I loved her, and I would reread this entire trilogy again, possibly once I'm done going through my TBR or in between working on my TBR. So overall, The Final Gambit was a well-written novel with a perfect conclusion to this intriguing trilogy. I cannot recommend it enough. It was a roller coaster of emotions and shocking reveals and ties up all the necessary loose ends from the previous novels. Jennifer Lynn Barnes has found a lifelong fan in me because I am truly impressed with what she has done with this trilogy. I do have a few more of her books on my TBR. The Naturals series, which is described as a YA Criminal Minds, and the Little White Lies duology, which is about Texan high society. Maybe I'll even do a video in either of those series in the near future. And that's a wrap on The Final Gambit. My next video is going to be up by early to mid-October, and it will be a long one in honor of spooky season. I want to say double feature, but it's technically a quadruple feature. The Fear Street trilogy starring Olivia Scott Welch, and Fresh starring Daisy Edgar Jones and Sebastian Stan. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe.